Create like a video.
Oh no, we're live right now, buddy.
That's fine. So you said I gotta go in here and edit it,
For what?
the post, to add you and Tim.
Yeah, you can do that on your phone though. You don't have to do it on the computer unless you want to.
Yeah, the phone might be a lot easier. All right, yeah. So let's get back and let's chat about what we were talking about. The Ravens.
We had a
this
special
weekend.
request while we were off air.
Okay.
We did have a special request, a very, very urgent and like serious request.
Yeah.
It was about my Facebook status, but it wasn't from me.
Is it for
They
me?
raw dog hot pockets now. They don't put the sleeve in there anymore.
Raw dog and hot pockets.
They're naked as hell. Like I don't get it. I don't like it.
Oh, we lost Matt's video.
My camera cut out for a second. I don't know why. I think it's because I touched the.
It's because you're so beautiful, Matt.
Oh, whatever.
Zach's over there. Zach's over there playing with new toys. He's excited.
No. I was fixing it. I was fixing Facebook like you told me to.
You know, we could have done this, on the countdown, but he went live right away.
I don't know how to do
All right,
all that
I
stuff.
love troubleshooting on air. This is fun.
So
I'm an IT guy.
From the wife, let's see. The email is drafted and prepared.
There we go.
To Hot Pockets for
To
not
Hot
having
Pockets.
a sleeve.
We'll spend
So speaking of Hot Pockets and raw dogging, I decided to just raw dog the lasagna tonight right out of the oven. Just not even having like a glass of water next to me or nothing. Just bit right into that damn thing and just scalded the top of my mouth like it was nothing. And I just
how'd that
chewed
go
it like
for you?
Oh, I chewed it like a caveman and I cried internally. And the next 7 days are going to be pretty brutal, but you know what? We're gonna get through it.
You guys know about pizza bagels, I would hope.
Yes. I think we all have a story about those. You're muted, by the way.
We can't hear you, buddy.
Oh, I think he's talking to Steph.
Oh.
Oh, no,
Talk
sorry, I
lady.
was muted. Have you ever bitten into a pizza bagel right out of the oven?
Yes. It's not fun
Yeah.
at all. At all. But
That man is getting a stern talking to right now.
No, she was asking if we had gone live yet because she didn't see the post notification. So we're live. Woohoo!
yeah, so that's what I don't understand with this thing is
You're like fourth on the pecking order in that house.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, that's because there's 3 animals.
So you're 5. Sorry. Sorry. I didn't put any animals before you. My bad.
she might be able to see it now.
Oh, I'm sure she can.
Well, I just checked and it's I got it live, so it's working.
Well, it was somehow, so this is what I need to learn how to fix, is it defaults to only me when I select Facebook. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Yeah. Drives me nuts.
You know what else is weird about it?
I got a notification that you mentioned me in a post.
Yeah, it's because I just switched it.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what else is strange is the Pigtown Sports logo on our view is where my window is, and then on the stream view, it's over top of. It's flipped. Like if you look at the stream on Facebook, it's flipped than what we are seeing on our screen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Zach just flipped you on the screen.
I just flipped you on purpose.
Oh, he moved me around. The Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
All right, fellas. So, Tony Taters. Is he going to qualify?
If I was him, I would take it.
Why not?
He's
stay
not
another
going to
year.
turn it down, though. He's not going to turn down. If somebody offers him a 4 or 5 year deal, he's not going to turn that down. I just don't see him getting over $16, $17 million a year.
Well, 44 home runs and all the teams that are going to need a power hitting outfielder that's a switch hitter. Even if you look at the metrics, like you guys are talking about in the group chat, that he only hit, I think, 7 home runs right-handed last year or this past season. I mean, somebody's still going to pay for his short porch power in the. Yes, we did. We did.
We did.
We talked about that. We did.
We're waiting for you to draft the email to
We're
the
waiting for
Hot
you to
Pockets
send it.
CEO.
Yeah, send it. Just go ahead and full send.
Matt, are you drinking a Coke from like the 1983 World Series?
Yeah,
We talked about this earlier.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to drink a lot of these, so I mean, at least regular ones.
Right.
Diet, yeah, but these gotta watch myself. But yeah, I got it off. It said Mexican Coca-Cola. I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah.
There is.
Where do you think Tony signs?
Pinstripes.
You think so?
Honestly, I do because I don't see Juan Soto going back to the Yankees.
I don't either. But I also think that they potentially get outbid for him too.
Oh, I mean, one way or another, he's not going back.
Yeah.
I think they blew their shot winning the World Series with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's my stance on it. But to be 100% honest with you, if Santander's not a Yankee, I'm shocked.
Yeah. I think they get desperate for him, but I still think somebody else gives a little bit more money for him.
How many home runs does Tony hit in the Bronx?
29.
And if he's playing 81 games in the Bronx, he's hitting at least 30 at home alone.
He only hit 8 at home for us, left-handed.
Yeah, left-handed. But I know we got a short porch and right, but we still got that wall. The Yankees don't. They got a run-of-the-mill home run wall.
That's fair.
So a lot of Tony's doubles that hit off that wall would be home runs in Yankee Stadium.
I seen a very, very interesting proposition earlier that the Royals were going to go after him pretty hard to add a little bit of protection in their lineup.
Well, I mean, he's the protection for them, but to make a case for Santander as a Yankee, look what Soto did hitting behind Judge or hitting in front of Judge.
Right.
Put Santander in front of Judge or behind him. You're gonna have to pitch Santander either way.
Yeah,
you're not gonna want to pitch the Judge.
Either that. I mean, but picture him in Kansas City too, right? You go from Witt to maybe Santander hitting 3, maybe or 4, but then you got Vinny Pasquantino too. Like, that's good protection for. That's good protection for all 3 of them.
It's good protection, but if you're going to maximize his power, and because the thing is in that lineup, Witt can hit for average and power, and so can Vinny, but Santander's power or nothing. So he doesn't really hit for average. He doesn't get on base a whole lot outside of rounding the bases pretty much, and that's been his MO for the last couple of years. So if I'm looking at it as a Yankee, as the Yankees general manager, you're going to go get him.
Yeah. And
you're going to give him half the money per year that it would take for Juan Soto, or a third of the money, and you can still go get somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like a discount essentially.
They could go get Bregman and Santander for what it would cost for about 80% of Soto.
True.
To replace Glaber and Soto in that lineup.
I think Glaber is a good pickup by anybody else. I know he's really struggled in New York, but I feel like he's a player that gets better when he leaves New York. There was a lot of pressure on him. So some guys just can't handle New York. And when Glaber first came up, he could.
A lot of guys can't.
Right. I think it kind of wore down on him. But now, like, if he goes to a good situation.
Look at Verdugo.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He started hot, but I'm saying he had some pretty decent productive years in Boston. And then he goes over to New York, and it's like, like the bright lights. I mean, he's literally making mistakes that you make in T-ball or rec ball. It happens to anybody. It's kind of like the pressure of being a Dallas Cowboy or a San Francisco 49er, or like one of these storied franchises, being a Patriot.
If the offer was close though, like they're trying to bargain shop for him, do you think there's any sort of resistance in Tony, or any trust that he doesn't want to go play for the Yankees? He's an Oriole through and through. I mean, I know he was a Rule 5 guy, but still, we created that monster. He can't like the Yankees.
I think he wants to be here.
So do I. Based on all his social media posts and what he shares and his love that he's shown in the media for this city and this team. But at what point are you going to have to look out for yourself?
Right.
He's a they're all professionals and they all have a finite amount of time to make money. And who knows how this team is going to look? We don't know what's going on with this pitching staff. It's a huge question mark right now. We don't know, or Burns is most likely going to be gone. Are you going to be able to swing in for the fences and grab Snell? Or are you going to get Max Fried? Are you going to have to settle for, the last time we were all talking, the B tier guy like Bieber or anybody of that nature? Or are you going to get a bunch of C and D tier guys and then hope that Eflin and G Rod step up,
Right.
and in the eyes of the organization? And then are they going to go and get some bullpen arms and kind of have that as their savior to the rotation, so to speak? Well, why, if you're Santander, is what I'm saying, is if you're Santander and you take money out of it, is Baltimore the best situation for you? Objectively, let's speak objectively, not as fans
I don't
and
know.
content creators. Is this
I
the
don't
best
know.
situation?
I think organizationally, probably yes, but production-wise, probably not. Like, just because the ball travels a little bit more out west, like he could go Arizona or San Diego if they don't re-sign Profar. The Dodgers if they don't re-sign Hernandez. Like, it's warmer all the time. Who knows? Tampa Bay might even run at him. Like,
That's that is one of my top 3 that I think is going to make a run at him.
Toronto
definitely is going to try.
To me, it really just it depends on what he's prioritizing, and we don't know that.
Yeah.
If you prioritize comfortability in your family and what your loved ones want you to do, if you're willing to leave 12 to 15 million overall on the table to stay here, that's on him.
Right.
But there was a lot of water leaking out of this organization in terms of dissension and problems in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about that during the group chat, and I think it's a good time to bring it up. Kauser went on Adam Jones's podcast and pretty much said the rumors about locker room shit were nonsense. And
he said it was bull.
He said it was bullshit. Yeah. But let's all be perfectly clear and realistic. Is a current player that's in line to be AL Rookie of the Year going to say that there's a bunch of problems in the locker room for the team that is probably going to make him the leadoff hitter next year playing center field? No.
I would never think anybody probably would, but I don't know. Have you listened to it yet?
It does sound wholesome.
Yeah,
it does. I listened to a little bit of it on the way home.
It's just like how quick it was, and then like when you kind of watch like Adam Jones's reactions, like you can tell even he's just like, yeah, like I had to ask this question, like
It's just to get it out there because there's a lot of talking heads on social media that put it in the universe, and then there's a lot of people that are commenting on it.
Now, what if he's the source of the problem?
That's true.
You're not going to snitch on yourself. You're not if you're the one causing or leading the way and being the problem. You're not going to raise your hand and say, yeah, the rumors are, he can't. But I agree with Zach. It did sound wholesome, like he meant it. It was natural. It wasn't like there was no pause. But I see Matt's side. You're not gonna snitch on yourself.
Right.
And here's my justification to it. And this is from the group chat. Let's just kind of giving everybody a peek into what it is we talk about. When you're looking at it like that, the last 2 years, Tim, we've had 192 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And we're 0-6 in the playoffs in that span. So
yeah,
we also made a trade for Corbin Burns and didn't ink him to an extension at any point, whether that's his agent's fault, his fault, or our fault. It didn't happen.
I think they knew going in that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, but you still try. You should still try. And to me right now, I know that Tim, I know that you're a quote unquote Daddy David guy, but right now with the way things have gone the last 2 years, and in the course of this year alone, the 10-win regression, the sweep in the playoffs again, back-to-back years. I'm not entirely high on expecting this team to do what they're supposed to do in the all season. I'm not saying they got to be a video game general manager and go sign every free agent to a big contract.
Right.
But if you sit on your hands and let those top 3 pitchers get away from you, and you don't land somebody like Bieber to kind of ease the fan base's like want for an ace, because
Yeah.
at one point he was an ace in Cleveland.
Yeah, he won a
But
Cy Young.
yeah, he won a Cy Young. But it's really hard to trust them to fulfill some of what we're asking for.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
We
The
talked
last
about this in our group chat. I think Tim brought it up with Elias on 105.7 The Fan, where it sounded like he wants to go after the bullpen first.
Yep.
Do you think if he went and signed Tanner Scott and then like another, like we'll say like Kirby Yates or Kendall Graveman or AJ Minter, right? He went and picked up 2 legit studs in the pen, and then maybe just went for like Alex Cobb or, God, what's the guy we used to have, the lefty? Anyway, there's somebody else that's like not a big name frontline starter. Do you think this fan base would lose their mind even though they
Yes.
really, really, really shored up the bullpen?
Shoring up the bullpen is a necessity, though. It's not like we have 5 studs in there and we need 2 more to make it the best bullpen in baseball. You let Coulomb walk, and you kept CNL Perez,
which is blows my mind, but
blows. And Coulomb said goodbye to Birdland, so he's pretty much knowing he's going somewhere else. Coulomb might be in New York next year, or in Boston. I wouldn't
expect him to be in New York. Yeah.
I would say New York.
I'm like, it wouldn't shock me to see Coulomb in the AL East next year.
Yeah.
And if you go get if you get Tanner Scott, I feel better about the bullpen.
Yeah.
If you go get Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott, I feel really good about the bullpen, knowing we got Batista coming back.
I like Minter.
I mean, either one of those guys would be sufficient. But
yeah,
if you do that and your rotation next year has Dean Kramer as your 3, we are in trouble. And that is
Right.
a capital T.
We do have some Orioles breaking pitching news, by the way, not to cut you off, Matt.
No, you're fine.
How about Burns?
Yeah, it's not. It's the stupidest breaking news ever. But Corbin Burns has been named to the All MLB first team.
Price tag just went up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just went up $3 million.
Price.
Yeah.
It's
just added on. Boris just checked the box.
Yep.
He's sweeping all these awards. He was in Cy Young contention.
Yeah.
Like
he was.
If you
one bad August.
If you come out and tell the team, like, hey, we offered him 7 years at around 27 per, and he goes somewhere else, I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
But in the pecking order of these starting pitchers that are the big 3, Burns is 1A, Snell's 1B, and Fried is 1C.
Correct.
I would love to see Fried here because that checks 2 boxes: ace and left-handed pitcher. You get that all in one. And then if you went and got another starter, I know I've been banging on the table for Scherzer or Verlander as a veteran, more to corral the youngsters and lead the bullpen as opposed to being an effective 31 game pitcher.
Right.
That's where I'm at with that. But
I think it's a good spot to be at, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you can have Scherzer or Verlander as your 5, and you can rely on Povich to possibly be your 4, and you already have G-Rod and Eflin, that's adding one starter in there. I feel better immediately.
You know what concerns me though is Povich, McDermott, and Brandon Young. Like Brandon Young and McDermott have almost nothing left to prove. And what scares me is Mike knows that. And his comments about loading up the bullpen would be to make room for them in the starting rotation. That gets
They
me a
don't
little
deserve
worried.
it, though. They don't
Exactly.
deserve that.
Exactly.
So to me, he could be either be saying that he's prepping them for the starting rotation, or he's telling them, "Hey, if you don't get your shit together, you're going to start the year in Norfolk."
They should.
His last
they
couple
should.
interviews, Elias has literally said he feels good about the starting rotation and guys coming back from injury, and that he's literally mentioned that
Who's coming back from injury besides Rodriguez?
I think just Tyler Wells.
It's just Tyler Wells.
Didn't Wells have Tommy John?
He had the stint, I think. So he's
Yeah.
the one that's going to come back the fastest.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's going to come
the
back,
brace.
but that's still an elbow surgery.
Yeah. Right. You don't know what you're going to get.
I'm not expecting him on the mound in April or May.
Let's be honest with ourselves too. What can you really expect? And don't put too much expectations into Grayson Rodriguez because he hasn't finished a full season yet.
Nope.
You got to prepare for that.
I mean, I love Grayson. I think he should be like a bulldog starting pitcher, which is what he is when he's healthy.
When he's healthy.
I'm also of the ilk that if you're not going to rely on him as a starter, I think you give him 25. You give him 25 to get this shit right. Let him get healthy, stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't stay healthy as a starting pitcher in 25, I think you got to entertain moving him to the bullpen
100%.
as a setup or a closer.
It would have to be a closer.
He's dynamite on the mound.
Yeah.
And he's great early. So if you limit his innings and let him do that night after night as the closer or as a setup to Batista, because it hypothetically speaking, if you're 7, 8, 9 could be Tanner Scott, Rodriguez, and Batista.
I was going to bring that up soon, Joe. I was going to bring that up soon.
We had it cooking.
I wanted Montgomery last year. We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to say it because of that. I would still take him too. I would if the Diamondbacks at 820 out of that 22 million, yeah.
Eat 8 of it.
No.
I'll pay 14. I'll pay 14 for a guy like that. I would.
I mean, I guess, but here's the thought process.
Let me say why I would though, because Kyle Gibson makes 10. Mm-hmm. And I would still at this point still say Jordan Montgomery's better than Kyle Gibson.
I would love Kyle Gibson back here.
I think we all would.
I think we would, but he's going to be what, 38?
Rich Hill still was pitching in the league last year. He was in his mid 40s.
Yeah, but he's left-handed, and there's just not many lefties in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when he was here. What, 15 years ago? That's true.
I wish it would be that easy, Joe. It wouldn't be that easy. Let me put it this way: if they had to eat the full 22, you're trading Samuel Basayo. But if you only had to eat 8 of it, you're trading I don't know, Tavian Josenberger or something like that. Like somebody like that. I don't know. There's a chance he does though, Joe.
Yeah, I do agree. He loves St. Louis. He's made that crystal clear, and he had a good year.
And he liked it here though. But I mean, so I won't put too much stock into that.
You want to talk about money? I mean, do you guys think Sonny Gray is obtainable?
Yes.
No.
But for what though?
Right. They want
a
too
lot.
much. I'm good friends with a Cards fan. They want too much. He's got 3 more years control. I get it. They're gonna ask for Kerstad, to start the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way.
No.
While we're talking about this, I think that in terms of prospects and guys that are fresh major leaguers, Basayo's untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
Kerstad's untouchable.
I won't go that far yet.
I like Kerstad. I'm a Kerstad guy.
I would, but if he was the starting conversation to Garrett Crochet, I would probably entertain that.
Didn't someone just report
it would have
Crochet
to be for the right guy?
But those assholes asked for Jackson Holiday, so
I know.
Yeah.
I
Like,
know. And
like-
then they
like,
turn around and
talking
ask for
about-
Jackson Merrill like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
who
yeah,
just
that's
won
what it
NL
was.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll give
Like,
you Crochet
like-
for Jackson Merrill. Get the
is
Yeah.
Crochet worth it though?
I don't know. I really don't. Because he's
Put
prior
Joe's
to
comment
this
on the
year.
screen. Put Joe's comment on the
I
screen.
knew that was coming as soon as he read it.
My man. I like Joe.
Joe's a good dude.
But that's because he's Kerstead. You know, that's
Yeah.
his boy.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Joe's a woo pig.
Okay. I mean, regardless, Kerstead has every tangible skill that you want as an Oriole outfielder.
I think he's a 40 home run guy. I really do.
If you give him a full 163 or 162 in the majors, yeah, he's going to hit 40.
What I like about him most is the fact that he hung in there against lefties last year and still hit really well.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
You got to, and the thing is, sending him up and down, you got to stop that shit. Let him take his lumps, let him take his lick his wounds, and work through the shit. They did the same shit with Jackson and Kobe last year. This past season,
Yeah.
But
The
I
thing
mean,
with Kerstad, though, is let's be honest. We tanked to get him.
we
we
did.
did.
You got to play him eventually.
you see, this is the downside of a rebuild, because now all the chickens have come home to roost. Everybody's ready.
Not only
For the
that,
most
the
part,
guys that weren't
everybody's
supposed
ready.
to be here are doing just as good.
Mhm.
Like, look at Creed Willems right now in the Arizona Fall League. He's hitting 333, and the average ball off the bat is over 100 miles an hour. Like,
He's
now you're
making
adding another catcher that wasn't supposed to be there right into the mix. And he's, what, 21 years old?
But the thing is, all this stuff right here, how good Basayo is, how good Creed is, that's even more of a case for me to say, Adley, put on a first baseman's mitt, because it's over. I'm
We've
the
talked
only
about this.
I'm the only one in this group chat that is firmly for Fat Adley moving to first base.
So, but see, the reason why I'm not is he a good enough hitter to be a first baseman?
Well, where else are you going to put him? Are you going to make him your
That's-
full-time DH?
That's my point. Is he a good enough hitter to be a full-time DH?
The numbers would
The
say
numbers
otherwise.
skew, yeah.
Right.
The numbers skew that he can be a full-time DH. But,
Maybe.
I mean,
But do you want your DH only hitting 20 home runs?
but the thing is, his offensive production as a DH versus a catcher was so
They were.
dramatically different that if you just made him a full-time DH, it would skew more towards him hitting better.
I wouldn't
Now,
hit it because he's
I mean-
switch hitting, you know?
The Orioles
us-
need a bona fide DH.
Yeah.
They need
It
someone.
could be Adley.
Could be.
We place so much emphasis on these number one overall picks being these generational catchers. They did this shit with Weeders. They're doing it with Adley.
They're
And
supposed to be, though, when you get
they're
drafted
supposed
that
to
high.
be. But the thing is, in this day and age, they're all being compared to Buster Posey and Joe Mauer and
Can't do it.
Perez and Yadier Molina. Like, we don't got those guys.
No.
Adley is not them. You
No.
need to tell Adley, like, hey, if you want to be 245 pounds and you want to eat fast food on TikTok with your girlfriend, on again, off again, bro, if you want to do that, that's fine by me. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, the shit was ridiculous, and I think that's part of the reason his personal life fucked up his season.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm going to die on that hill. He could get on this screen and tell me that it didn't, and I still wouldn't believe him.
There are some big chunkers who thrive at first base too. If you're going to
Yeah.
be if you're going to be a thick boy, that's the place.
Look at Josh Naylor.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is-
Rowdy Tellez?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to, like, you can't give up on Adley totally.
Good God.
You can't give
Sorry.
up on him totally. But at the same time, if Basayo is ready, he's ready. If
I still think he
Basayo-
starts in AAA, though.
I'm over this shit with them starting in Norfolk because you're playing fringe major leaguers.
Yeah.
You know, like, we got all these guys that we have been tanking for, and they're all here. Jackson, Gunner, Adley, Basayo, Kerstad, Kauser. All these guys are here.
And
You
like
had
Zach said, the guys that weren't supposed to be here are here.
right. So why are we going to put Adley behind the plate? His arm strength is down. His put out numbers are down. Dudes aren't afraid to run on him anymore. And
Zach loves how he frames the ball too.
what? Why?
He's
Why
being
the joke?
sarcastic there.
I know. And the thing is, he's the fan favorite. He's the face of your organization for so many years.
Name
and
of
now
my
the face
dog.
of, like, yeah, I blame you too. Just want to let you know, I want to blame you for that. Yeah, but now in the pecking order in this organization, it's arguably Gunner, Kauser, Jackson, then Adley.
I'm going to go Gunner, Westberg,
Westberg.
Jackson,
I'm sorry, I forgot
then
Westy.
Kauser.
Yeah, like you're not even the number one guy anymore for the face of the organization. You're.
I'm going to throw a
fringe
quick hot
five.
take in. Quick hot take. Westberg at the end of 2025 is the franchise's best player.
That wouldn't shock me either.
I agree. I think he wins the batting title on the team too.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it.
Yeah.
But also, what I just thought about when you named off your pecking order like that, Matt got it started and Zach followed with it, is that you just named
all the first round picks.
Well, also 3/4 of our infield.
Yeah.
And we're talking about all these acquisitions and players and who we think, where are they going to play?
Mm-hmm.
Our infield is stacked. The only thing in question is Ryan Mountcastle, and he was the best hitter on the team.
He 33 home runs as a rookie, right? And he hit 13 last year. So
This is going to make
we're
me
talking
sad.
I'm talking about a 20 home run difference, right? I still think that he wasn't 100% last year.
Oh, totally agree.
Something had to happen. He hit 8 home runs at home in one of the worst ballparks for a right-handed hitter. How do you hit 5 home runs in 81 road games?
And how many of them were in Toronto? 3 of them?
One.
Only one.
He didn't hit him this year.
He did not annihilate the Blue Jays this year.
To me, Mountcastle is a perfect trade candidate.
He is, but he isn't at the same time because the glove is good. It's not easy to find a good glove. And
he's been a Gold Glover, 2 times now? His first
finalist,
base?
yeah, in a row.
Yeah, but 2 years in a row.
He was one of our best. We're taking Westberg out of the conversation here because he was abnormal. He was one of the best with runners in scoring position this year. So you take a team that struggled with runners in scoring position and then trade the second best guy away.
But the second best guy's hitting 13 home runs for you at first base, which is a notorious. Let's look around the league.
I'm gonna drop a bombshell real quick.
Almost everybody's first basemen are power hitters.
Mountcastle will 1,000% hit more home runs next year, and I'm not going to go into any more detail.
I mean, okay, but I don't want to.
I hope so.
Every right-hander will hit more home runs next year at Camden Yards, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Oh well,
something changed.
Yes,
something's in the works, obviously. But what I'm saying is, do you really want to go through another year of maybe Mountcastle does, maybe he doesn't, and he's guaranteed at least one trip to the IL every single year.
That's what sucks with him.
Every single year.
Because he's so good. That's what irritates me.
It's the thing is we're at the end of this rebuild. We're competitors now. That is what we do. We compete. So I'm tired of there's no more room for experimentation.
Yeah, but the problem is okay. So would you want to acquire Christian Walker or Paul Goldschmidt?
Yes.
What do you do with Kobe Mayo then? Because that becomes an experimentation, but it also becomes a game-changing right-handed bat. Potentially.
Mayo needs to be in Norfolk.
Yes.
And
Agree.
I'll say this because I think all of us got to go to a game last year.
No comment, Joe.
Where where I had to reset for a second. We all went to a game last year separately where Mayo played in person. What Zach said during the year was right when he was commenting during our foul ball talk, Tim, is that he's got a hole in his swing.
It's got a
He's
hitch.
got like a hitch or a giddy up in his swing to where it's not catching up to major league
his
pitching.
hands drop, right? So they start
Right.
here and they drop as his leg is coming down. And every analyst and every scout said he will struggle to hit big league pitching. Trade him. And I've read that from multiple advanced scouting reports.
But now the secret's out.
I think obviously they've seen it now. So typically when you get moved up, they let you do what got you there. And they don't change it right away, even if they know it's not going to work because it got you there.
Yep.
But they take their notes and stuff, and then they go in. I don't think many people noticed it this year, but Kowser and Westberg both changed their stance. And I think we see that this year with Mayo and Holiday too.
Holiday changed his stance when he went back down and came back up. And
They
he
said that was Cody Ashley's idea.
Yeah, but they said that he was watching Shohei take batting practice.
Yeah.
And he mirrored his stance and his stride almost similar to
everything was already
does.
almost there, other than just the leg kick. But the hands were already in almost the exact same spot and everything. You know, the head, other than being 8 inches shorter, but still.
Yeah, like I took off for that. I took a vacation day for home opening day.
I've been to every one of them since 2012.
I'm gonna be there again next year.
My buddy
where
drags
you'll
me out
find
there
me
for some reason.
Well, this time I'm gonna wear a hoodie, Tim, and not buy one at the damn stadium.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
I did that at the playoff game. I walked in there and I was like, I got enough clothes on. And as soon as I walked in there, it started getting windy. I dropped $90 on a hoodie, and I was like, this sucks.
I did the same exact thing. And
sucks.
Man, it sucks because you know we want to see our guys, you know, be productive.
Mhm.
But to kind of round out this Mountcastle talk, if we can replace Mountcastle with a Christian Walker, which is who I want personally, I would
You've
love
been beating
Goldschmidt.
that horse for a while.
Yeah, I would take Goldschmidt.
I feel like with either one of them, you don't lose the defensive fall off. I'd be fine
don't.
with that.
I think the defense is going to be fine, but I think you get more production offensively. I'm at the point now where it's the same thing with a lot of the Orioles that have been here for a long time. I've seen enough of Mullins.
Yeah.
I love Mullins, but I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Mountcastle's in the same boat with me. You're getting younger at all these positions. Your high draft picks are coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
They're productive major leaguers. Three out of your four infielders are high draft picks, and they're all producing at the major league level.
And Mullins and Mountcastle, you just named, are sort of like the original changing of the guard, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we thank them for their service, but we can't have a center fielder batting 190 for 3 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And
that's
not
a
healthy.
black hole. Right.
And I want to touch on another thing, and I think a lot of people have forgotten about it quickly with Holiday and Mayo next year. When you look at the last 3 years, right? Adley finished second in Rookie of the Year. Gunnar won it, and Kowser's likely going to win it in 3 straight years. So it's not like we're just bringing up these young guys and they're just not producing. Like, you have shown 3 straight years when you bring these guys up at, you know, obviously we manipulate things and they don't get their full 130 and it's not their true rookie season, but it's within the rules and we get it done. They're coming up and they're producing enough that everyone else around baseball sees it. So you can't just keep hanging on to these guys just because they're fan favorites. Like,
no.
I understand, like, people really want to re-sign Tony, but you probably are going to get the same kind of production when Kjerstad plays every day. Granted, he's not a rookie anymore, but if he was, I guarantee you he would be right there in a top 2 conversation at the end of the year.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. And it's it's one of those things where if you look at this, if you look at the 8 position, the 8 fielding positions out there, catchers accounted for, second,
Mm-hmm.
third, and short are accounted for, center field's accounted for. So the corners are
Center
the
or
only,
left, whatever they feel.
yeah. Kowser's going to be out there one way or another. It's going to be, one of those things where we're going to probably go get a veteran left fielder. I would be okay with that.
Me too.
I think we're out of the Teoscar sweepstakes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think Toronto goes back after him.
Yeah, I think that they try to right that ship and let him go. So in left field, if it's a 1 year of Jock Peterson.
He didn't play any outfield at all last year, but I would still spell it.
Yep.
Right.
Give him a spell.
If you say, okay, Jock and you platoon Jock and Jorge Mateo in left field.
Yeah.
That might work.
I wanted to touch on this, Joe. Mayo has the best chance here. Sammy, I don't think we see till the mid-season. Sammy's going to be that one that gets they keep him under 130 at bats where he's in 2026 line. Mayo gives you your best chance. Sammy will go 26. You'll see Bradfield at the end of 26, and I bet you with Bradfield stealing close to 80 bases, Bradfield might also take it in 27.
I just want to the thing is, Zach, I understand the intricacies of Major League Baseball more than Zach or more than me and Tim, but as a fan and somebody that's we've dedicated 30 years of our life being Oriole fans. Since we were old enough,
have we done this?
and
ask myself that all the time.
Yeah, I ask myself the same thing. Why do I put myself through this shit? And who gives a shit about this minor league manipulation? With you're gonna have to pay some of these guys anyway. Why don't I find out who you got to pay all at once? Just rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, Basayo getting here June 1st. And March 31st, to me, that makes no difference. If he's ready, he's ready.
Well, we thought Holiday was ready last year too, but you got to remember how young he is.
There was some hokey shit with that though. We knew it was playtime manipulation, but we also knew that Matt had a lot to do with that shit too.
Sure.
So there was a lot of extenuating circumstances surrounding that. When he went down and got his head right and fixed his swing, he came back up and he was the Jackson we thought he was going to be. And he's going to be that from day one this coming season on. Because as long as Matt stays the fuck out of his way, excuse my language, but
Ethan's a senior this year. I don't think we see Matt too often.
Yep. This is the big year for Ethan.
Yeah, this is Ethan's big year, and then he's going to be playing for the Las Vegas Athletics in 26.
How sick would that be if we won the first round pick overall lottery somehow? Because it's a lottery now. It's not by worst record anymore.
Yep.
That would be insane.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. But then
it'd be like the Ripken brothers over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
And then they bring in the dad to coach.
No, thank you.
It's funny that you said that. It's funny you say that. Creed Willems worked out with Matt Holliday religiously, he says, and he credits him for him to skyrocket his season this past year. And
interesting.
It's not like he doesn't know what he's talking about, right?
I
don't see it working with his kids though in the same organization. But if you could go back to St. Louis, I think you're looking at a hell of a coach.
And I did know that Creed and Jackson were buddies. I had read that prior.
Which Creed's from Texas. I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me how they knew each other, but I'm sure it was on like Team USA or something like that because they're the same age.
Yeah, I think that's where it was.
Yeah.
I just want us to put the best product out there because now I want to see the chops of Elias when we're not losing 100 games and you now have to draft in the late first round consistently every year, drafting at the end of the rounds.
Yep.
Now, instead of having the pick of the 5 best players on the planet for that particular draft, now let's see what you're made of drafted in the late first, let's see what you it's almost like the Ravens. You're drafting anywhere from 25 to 32, year in and year out. See what you're made of.
So I will say though that Kowser was considered a reach pick, Kerstad was considered a reach pick, and Holiday was also considered a reach pick.
Yep.
Who the hell was they? Everybody said that we should have took, but
Over
he's still.
Holiday?
Drew Jones Jr.
Who?
Andrew Jones Jr.
Him, but then there was also the other guy who played second base. I forget his name, but they're both in single A. And Jackson was in the big leagues.
Jones has been hurt though. Jones, I think, had shoulder surgery last year.
Yeah, but the other one, I forget his name, but he's like a second baseman for the Pirates or something like that. And so I mean, it's not like Elias was going up there and just taking like can't miss guys. Like he looked at Kowser. No one had Kowser where he picked him, and no one had Kerstad going second overall. And the immediate thought for most people were, they did this to save money.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, that's the best hitter in the draft.
I was wondering who the hell Heston Kerstad was until we drafted him, and I watched some of his highlights. I'm like, okay, I'm cool with this.
Yeah, but
I couldn't figure out how to pronounce
between
his name.
like 15 and 20 or something like that. Like it was a considerable reach for a lot of people. It's second overall. And then when you look at Torkelson, I mean, he finished like 4 weeks, pretty decent last year, but he sucks.
No bueno.
And he was the unanimous overall first pick. Everyone scouted him and said he's the best guy. He sucks, in my opinion.
Yep.
I hear you. I get it.
You're over it, and I get it.
I'm over it because we've been hearing rebuild and be patient for 5 years now. And
baseball
now
takes a little while, and that's the bad part.
No, and the thing is, I understand there's nuances to it, but now we're here and we're at the competitive point of the rebuild, and then you got Elias going on these radio shows and doing news conferences. Oh, well, we're going to focus on this or that. Like, come on. We've been in a city where we've been listening to John Harbaugh coach talk us for 15, 16 years. Like, buddy, you can't get this shit past us. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, just tell us. Like, I rip the Band-Aid off now and say we're not going to get one of the big three pitchers, so we can be okay come the winter meetings. But don't walk us on a leash like we're dumb.
They haven't said much. It's been weird.
Silence is deafening.
Yeah.
And the fact that we haven't been linked but sparingly to Snell or Fried, and the thing is, I said it, Tim, when we did our last show on Adams Network. Like, we knew after that playoff game, Burns was not coming back here.
Yeah.
Burns threw a masterful game in that first playoff game. And
you said it. I didn't want to believe it.
Me either.
Yeah, but I'm the only one that has no problem saying it. Tim, yeah. You're a season ticket holder, bud, and I know that your love for the Orioles runs deep, and I understand it. Mine does too. Yours is on a different level, and I'm okay with that. But the man went out there and gave 8 innings of his best ball that he had in arguably 3 months,
and got yanked,
and then we lost.
Yeah,
like, come on.
The part that really chaps me about Burns and his whole saga here in Baltimore is just the fact that he couldn't get run support.
Yeah, it's like 12 of some starts or something.
And that's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. So he knows how good he is because he was still in contention for the Cy Young, knowing he had no run support in almost 20 of his starts. And he still put those numbers up.
Yep.
If you would have asked me the day after his opening day start where he had 11 strikeouts in 6 1/3, or was it 13 strikeouts?
I think it was 13.
13 strikeouts in a 6 1/3. He got 11 runs for run support. I'm like, oh, this dude's winning 25 games this year.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
He's running away with the Cy Young, and we're going to win 115 ball games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tim predicted 105 in our season prediction show. And we didn't even win as many as we won last year. I understand that winning 100 games is very hard thing to do. That's winning 2 out of every 3.
Right.
But you did it the year before, and you arguably had a better lineup this year and didn't do it.
And we just lost that rhythm. We started getting swept. We started losing series. We lost that record of, not getting swept, and
Oh,
it just all snowballed.
Joe, I'm going to hot take you even higher. Houston.
Yikes.
if he goes to Texas, I'm gonna be upset.
Texas
he
is
goes to
losing,
any of
3
those-
starters?
If he goes to any team in Texas, I'm gonna be pissed.
So they're losing Scherzer, they're losing Heaney, and they're losing Evaldi. It wouldn't shock me. They
Okay,
got to sign somebody.
No, that's fair, but that just pissed me off because I didn't even think about him going to Texas.
Nobody did.
I'm thinking West Coast, like Arizona or one of the California teams snatches him up.
Mhm.
But
Texas is a whole lot closer to home for him too.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, Texas is 2 states over from Arizona, and I get it. But if he goes to the fucking Astros or the Rangers, like those 2 teams just leave a bad taste in my mouth. The Astros for just being
Just being alive.
being good for so many
Banging
years.
on trash cans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody cheats, but they just got caught. And
Yeah.
I still think that they cheated their way to the World Series, and that's for a whole other show. But if he's a Ranger, that's gonna piss me off.
Yeah.
And I don't even hate the Rangers, but just the fact that they always seem to land.
They spend
big
money.
Name.
They spend a
do.
lot of money on pitching.
They
do.
do, and it's ridiculous how they spend so much money. Both
Mhm.
those teams spend money on pitching, and the thing is, if the Astros lose Garrett Cole and then a couple years later they end up with Burns, like that's the equivalent of the Colts having Peyton Manning for so many years,
And then get
sucking
Andrew
for
Luck.
a year or two, and then getting Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And Texas is just inviting, as in general,
Well,
for
you also
pitchers.
keep more of your money there.
You keep more of your money. You play inside.
Yeah.
Like, you don't got to worry about any bad weather, no wind, nothing like
And
that.
honestly, their
And
division
you play in a
isn't-
shitty division.
Yeah, the division's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're playing
You're almost locking up a Cy Young. Almost.
You're playing 19 games against the fucking Athletics.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You're gonna
Yep.
pitch at least 3 or 4 of those, so you got 3 or 4 wins off rip.
You're
Because-
centrally located, so there's no cross country flights.
Yep.
Right. And then, like Joe just said, no income tax on that $30 million a year.
Yep.
Might pay a little bit more to the federales, but no state income tax.
Yeah.
Like,
God damn it, Joe.
oh, he just gave me an indigestion. I like Joe too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they've been quiet in the sweepstakes, honestly. I mean,
Now,
the
if I
Mets
wake
are
up,
being very vocal. The Mets are just coming out and saying, "Hey, we want everybody."
I was gonna say, have the Mets made an offer to everyone
Pretty
at this
much.
point?
Yeah, like, hey, here's $40 million.
I hope, just for the sake of vanity, that if Burns does leave and stays on the East Coast, he's a Met.
Yeah.
If he goes and wears the blue and orange pinstripes, I'm okay with that.
I wouldn't mind him wearing red pinstripes.
In
Philly?
Philly. Wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind it either.
I
As
low
long
key
as
like Philly a little bit, just because they're just a fun team to watch with Harper and stuff like that, and Turner, and
Yeah,
They're really fun.
I would like it.
It's like
I
a
would
star-studded lineup.
Yeah,
I would understand that. He would get run support every start.
Mm-hmm.
he would.
A novel fucking idea.
Yeah. Yep.
And Philly's stadium, like Philly baseball fans, it's fun.
I've been to Citizens Bank.
Hey, they're
That's a
in on
nice
Soto
environment.
too. Could you imagine if they landed Soto and Burns? Hey, here's $1 billion. Let's just figure this out and go win a World Series. I'll make my money back in 2 years.
I'm sure Burns would love that catcher too, since he gets every strike and ball call there ever was.
Mm-hmm. Yomuto?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I just think there's so many variables to Burns not wanting to be here. The fact that he had McCann catch him almost half the year.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't trust Adley very much.
Yeah.
And
the funny thing
Yep.
is like Adley catching the ball is very good at the top of the zone. Like he's one of the better ones. He's top 10 in baseball at the ball at the top of the zone. He's the second or third worst in all of baseball at the ball, the bottom of the zone. And McCann wasn't any better, but I think he chose McCann because Burns likes to throw the ball middle down.
I think it was John Boy that did the breakdown of Adley and how some catchers will start when it's in the bottom of the zone and catch up into it,
What you're supposed to do.
and he
He
stabs
slaps.
down.
He slaps. That's like 1990 style catching. He's slapping it down. Ball right at the bottom of the zone, and you just catch it, slap down. But he loses so many strikes. Like I throw shit at my TV almost every night.
Oh, I know. The group chat's lit when Adley's
Oh,
behind the
God.
plate having a good night. I love it.
I don't publicly put my true feelings out about Adley often. But I don't like him, so I'm just going to say it out there now.
I do.
I like him as a hitter, and he was drafted as a hitter, and I just want people to always remember that. He was drafted to be a hitter. And
I think
he's
he has
just-
a great
he's just
food
behind
review
the
channel.
plate. Yeah, maybe.
I wanted to see Matt's head perk up. Matt, you like Carl's Jr.?
It's the wrong finger, Matt.
No, we already got that finger from Stephanie on screen at the beginning of our second recording.
Yeah.
Who ruined the 2018 World Series?
Adley.
Oh,
But they did walk him with bases loaded, though. Again, back to being he's a hitter.
Mm-hmm.
So if he moves
That's why
to
you
DH,
saw,
whatever.
that magic probably going to be one of the highlights of his career
Mhm.
because it was impressive. Was the switch hitting in the home run derby? That's like literally just being a pure hitter. Having your dad go out and say, "Hey, you want to play from the other side now?" In the middle of the home run derby, and then sending nukes like.
Yep.
so we're talking about we've all done hot takes. Here's mine. If Adley is a full-time DH, he hits 270 and hits 25 home runs in his first full season.
He definitely should.
I'm talking about like consistently.
He did it in 2023. He hit 270 and hit 20 home runs and had 80 RBIs.
Yep.
I think that's why the ceiling was set so high for him in 24.
And then he decided to be a TikTok star.
Yeah.
You're never
I will never let this go.
Yep.
I will never let this go. I'll never let it go because it's egregious.
Do you really think that he got more fat, or he really did just have some kind of injury? He definitely got fat, but do you think that
he got fat?
I think he was also injured. I honestly do.
He's fat.
I really don't understand why they won't just come out and say it. Like, why do they keep making excuses like, oh, he really wasn't hurt, or okay, don't make
they're scared of criticism for this dude.
What was it that they did announce though? It was like back or something, wasn't it?
He got hit on the hand.
I know the hand,
and
but
the thumb or something like that.
All a bunch of bullshit.
Could be
all a bunch of bullshit.
That you watch too much John Harbaugh.
I'm so jaded by the people that talk in the media from these sports teams we love. It's agitating because they lied to us. They lied to us constantly.
Well, they
have when the injury report comes out.
They have to. They can't come out and blast everything and then be able to, walk through the doors again.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is we saw the proof. If you are a diehard Orioles fan, you're watching these and listening to these games every single night, and then you're following them on social media, and you're seeing this clueless little girl that he's dating. Oh, I've never tried Carl Jr.'s, and he's there smashing the food with her every single time. And then he looks heavier, and he's not producing, and he's spending half of his week at catching and half of his week at DH. Come on.
Do you guys remember when I texted you the other day and said she was live on Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know what she was doing?
I'm
eating.
Not really sure.
No.
Eating food that she's never had before.
Kind of. She was building food. I don't know if it was like some kind of like rubber or like some kind of clay, but like she had sheets of stuff. So, and they were different colors. So she cut out the buns, and then she cut out the hamburger, and then she grabbed the green one and she made lettuce, and then she used this little tool. Yeah, she used this little tool and she made made it look like lettuce, and then she cut out some cheese and she made this little tiny ass little hamburger.
Joe, you're not helping.
Like Play-Doh?
It could have been something like Play-Doh, but they were like thin little sheets. And I'm watching her for a while, and I really wanted to comment like, "Hey, where's Adley?" But You had to be a subscriber, and I wasn't paying $5 just to ask where Adley was.
I would have paid the $5 and said, "Where the hell is Fat
Not
Adley?"
me.
I'm so pissed off at this whole situation. Like, I know somebody else's relationship shouldn't be our problem, but
Yeah.
she made it our problem. That is instability if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, what does center field look like for the 2025 and 2026 Orioles?
I think they finish with Mullins for the year, and he hits his not arbitration, but he hits his they're not going to give him a qualifying offer, obviously, unless he comes out and hits 290, 30 home runs.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
He's not getting a qualifying offer. It really depends on Bradfield. Like, if Bradfield like sucks ass, and then Honeycutt sucks, and Vern sucks, and like they have nothing in the pipeline, maybe they give him another 1-year deal. But I think we're nearing the end of it. But I think he's definitely starting the season at center field.
Or it could be Mike Trout.
It's not going to happen.
Stop killing my dreams. You're a thief of joy.
So
we don't have $50 million a year.
Yes, we do.
So it fails, right? Say we go out and
he
the
just doesn't
Cedric
need
Mullins,
to buy 17 pandas. We're good.
or the Magna Carta.
Yeah.
We get halfway through the season. Cedric Mullins is having a subpar year. We're not seeing what we like. They bump Kowser over. Tony Taters is not on this team. Who are your corners?
Kerstead and
you're gonna have to pull up Beavers or Fabian, or you're gonna have to go acquire somebody.
Or if that, or you move Mateo to left field permanently.
God, I don't want to see Mateo in the outfield.
That's
I'm just throwing names out there.
I know.
So
I'd rather see Holiday out there than Mateo.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
So I was kind of setting that hook for you. I was saying the other
I'm
day,
watching the Skins and Eagles game. The dude just missed an extra point. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
Was it the Philadelphia Eagles kicker that missed it?
Yeah.
God damn it! He's my fantasy kicker.
It is. This is one of the most embarrassing football games that I've ever watched.
That's agitating the hell out of me.
It's 12-10 in the fourth quarter.
Ew.
I'm checking my.
Daniels looks like shit. Hurts looks like shit.
Jalen Hurts has got 18 points for me. You bastard.
That's because he just did a tush push for a touchdown just now. But other than that, he hasn't completed a pass in like 29 minutes.
And then we played these dudes on the first.
I want you guys to know that Jaden Daniels has 5.42 points for me.
Dude, he's taken like the whole time we've been live, so the last hour and 2 minutes, I've watched him take 5 sacks. I don't know if they've all been registered or not, but I've watched him take 5 sacks.
This is why Thursday football sucks.
It does.
He has 103 rushing yards.
How many times has he been sacked? Officially.
Let's
Probably
see.
7.
They're getting pressure like crazy. It's ugly. I've been glancing over.
5 official sacks so far.
And that's been within the last hour. I keep glancing over because I have it on next to me, but
they need to get rid of Thursday night football.
They really do.
Amazon makes $1 billion a day doing whatever.
That's what I'm watching. Is it on Amazon right now?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, you got to start with Mullins. I think you start with it. But to your point, Tim,
that's where we have a hole because
what is considered not good enough, right? Because most teams' number 9 hitter is below 220. It would be Frank.
Can he hit his body weight maybe?
But I'm saying if he hit 215, 220 and he's hitting in the 9 hole, like.
But at that point, we're keeping him for defense. That's the beginning and the end of it.
Yeah.
Everybody's enamored with that 30-30 year he had a couple years ago. It's in the past. It was COVID baseball. Mm-hmm. Like, come on. Like, let's get past that. But I love Seti too, and that's the hard part. I love him as a fan. But this is him and Mountcastle are black holes in the lineup.
Well, and see, that's sort of my worry because if Cedric doesn't work out and Tony's not here, That leaves your only two locks in the outfield being Colton
A
Cowser,
1-year player and
Yep.
2 rookies.
and Kerstad. So then you're in a spot where you're trying to fill that last starting role in your outfield, which also has to be in your lineup. I have a gut feeling that we have to go get somebody. We have to.
I
Luis
mean,
Robert.
I would take Luis Robert in left field, or if you want to keep him in center and you want to keep
I prefer
Cowser in left.
Cowser in center field over Luis Robert, but I mean Robert still runs.
Like I get this with Mullins that it's going to be hard for them, but honestly, I would shop Mullins and try to get a bullpen arm, or like I'm tired of these mid-level prospects. Get a major league ready bullpen arm, and then that maybe somebody that can replace Cologne. Call Philly and see what they want for Matt Strom, and put Mullins in that package.
I just think you have to go get somebody because I don't want to be in the position where we're watching Ryan O'Hearn play right field all the time.
Oh God.
Why is Ryan O'Hearn
If Ryan
still
O'Hearn,
here?
if you're watching this, I apologize, but golly, I never better see him in the outfield again.
I love Ryan O'Hearn, but I'm with
So
you.
do
It was
Why?
like trying to watch Chris Davis play outfield again.
What are we? Okay, what is his role on this team?
A left-handed DH,
Mhm.
honestly.
But if you're gonna have
Maybe a left-handed first baseman.
if Fat Adley takes DH or whoever, or you sign, you know, a power hitter such as Walker or Goldschmidt to be your DH. I get platooning for the lefty, but like, come on, man. O'Hearn, we're still thinking about 2022 O'Hearn.
There's your
Let-
veteran leader from the bench.
Let me ask you a tougher question that nobody else has talked about. Mateo comes back. Rivera hit extremely well and has a very good glove. Urias finished the season pretty damn good. You've got 3 guys fighting for 1 bench spot. Who goes?
If Mateo's healthy, I think he has to be the one that stays. But with
But
that
he's
said,
your worst hitter.
right, exactly. He's your worst hitter, and Rivera played some pretty good defense towards the end there.
Plays third and first.
Mm-hmm.
Now Mateo defensively plays more positions, but
you gotta make the toughest decision that's best for your team.
yeah.
I mean, we're all gonna say Mateo, but I'm keeping Rivera. Because
I
out
would
of
too.
all those guys, Rivera can play anywhere
He's got
efficient.
postseason experience too.
I'll tell you what, I would be more comfortable with keeping Rivera and watching it, not be given to Jorge if I saw Colton and Gunnar and Jackson start stealing bases.
That's a Brandon Hyde thing, I think.
They are 3 of the fastest players in baseball.
Right. It's a Brandon Hyde thing because we've watched Cedric just not run the last couple years. Oh, he got 25 stolen bases here. That dude should be stealing 25 in the first freaking 3 months or 2 months. I'm sorry. It gets me frustrated.
You can see that. Look at Shohei. The dude's as tall as a tree trunk, and he's stealing almost every time he's on the first.
But the thing is, they're letting him do his thing.
That's what I mean.
We have somebody that shouldn't be managing the Orioles.
I didn't want to bring that part of the conversation up, but I'm just
Jesus Christ. I have not mentioned Hyde's name at all.
I know. Your hate for Brandon Hyde is my hate for John Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
I love your speechless.
I would
too.
like to watch Matt sit down and have dinner with Harbaugh and Hyde on each side of the table.
No, the
No.
dinner table will get flipped over.
No. No. Here's the thing. Harbaugh. Everything is like I've grown tired of Harbaugh shit at times over the years.
Yeah.
But we're winning a lot of football games, a lot more than we're losing,
Mm-hmm.
and every win and loss counts because there's only 17 games. But Brandon Hyde has shown on more than one occasion that he's not cut out for this.
What are they doing over there? Yeah, I know.
I also have a disdain for Harbaugh, and I would like to put my 2 cents in that Harbaugh's not winning these football games if he doesn't have one of the greatest football players of our generation.
We all know that. Lamar has saved his job twice, maybe 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that. And I'll say this. The Ravens organization is loyal to a fault, and they've kept him around for a lot longer than arguably he should have been. But Harbaugh is going to go down. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame as a head coach.
Oh
He'll be in
God.
Canton. He
He's
will.
going to.
Score
When
update
he-
there, Zach.
You idiots.
Oh, he's watching the game.
Sorry, dude.
No.
You're in field goal range. You're down 2 points with 7 minutes to go. It's a 31-yard field goal, and you go for it on 4th down, fumble the snap, and don't get it. This is why Washington will always be Washington. Sorry, I had to get that out. You don't make those kind of coaching decisions.
If you would have told me like 10 years
you're on
ago
the road.
that I would be talking about the Eagles and the Commanders playing each other and being a competitive
Relevant
game, I
game,
would have
yeah.
laughed in your face.
I can tell you right now, this game is not relevant because they both look like shit. The coaching decisions are terrible. I'm getting annoyed watching it, and I'm not a fan of either team.
Let's talk about annoying coaching decisions. I was at the game last Thursday, and John Harbaugh blew 2 timeouts before we hit the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you,
My
I was
wife
beside
even
myself.
said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she doesn't even understand all of that all the time.
See,
But she knows you don't blow 2 timeouts in the first quarter.
I live with a woman that can tell me the difference between man coverage and zone coverage. She's that damn like I watch so much football and I talk about it so much. She's been around me since we were 17 years old. So
That's good though.
yeah, it's great. And sometimes I gotta catch myself because she's like, "Why were they playing zone there?" And I'm like,
Why are they playing quarters?
"What? What?"
Not those
She's
quarters.
like, "Yeah, they're playing zone, right?" I was like, "How do you know that?" She's like, "Because they're not playing up on the guy." I said, "Oh, I forgot you'd like actually sit on the couch and watch TV with me sometimes." But
Forget you're over there.
like I'm at the Bash Hyde point of this show, and I'm going all in.
All right.
Like Frank Kona should be our manager. Frank, like I don't know if Joe's still with us. I don't know if anybody's
Scary
with us
Terry.
now. Terry Francona should be managing this ball team. The fact that they doubled down on this douchebag, and like I don't care if anybody that's with the Orioles organization is seeing this. We have a rebuild manager managing a team full of all-stars. This shit is irritating. I'm so tired of seeing that dude standing in the dugout.
Yeah.
For what? For what? Tim, stop laughing because this shit ain't funny. Like it's fucking incredible. Like
What do you think the game plan is if we have a slow, terrible start to the season?
Fire his ass. Fire him.
Yeah.
Fire him. Kick his ass to the curb.
That
Do you think
leash is short?
I was going to ask, do you think that leash is short, and do you think that's something that this new owner and Elias and co would pull off a mid-seasoner?
No, because they're stubborn as well. It like
David Ross.
At this
if
point,
they hire David Ross, that's 1,000% the plan.
I would be
because
okay
he's not coming here without a managerial position.
The person that brought the Magna Carta to him would probably serve as better as a manager than this dude, because this shit is egregious.
I thought you were going to say one of those pandas from the DC
one of the pandas
Zoo.
would probably be great. Give him an Oreo jacket.
Oh man!
Give him some fucking bamboo to eat, and he'll make a better choice.
Like I said, I've always been a Brandon guy just because I played for him.
Joe's still
that leash
with
is
us.
short.
Joe's still with us because he just threw out 2 names: Joe Madden and David Ross.
So David Ross has been linked to the Orioles, but he turned. Sorry. Yeah, so he turned down the Yankees position last year because he wants to still manage. So
he should come here because he might be our manager by June.
That's what I'm saying. So if he does sign here as the bench coach, I can guarantee you it's been communicated to him that leash on Brandon Hyde is short.
Zach's got a ghost coming in behind him.
Oh, it's my dog.
I saw the door open.
Now it's the dog.
Like
But
Joe,
yeah. No, I'm with you.
Brandon Hyde should be managing Volo
Norfolk.
softball. No, Bed Hill Volo softball is more his speed.
Oh man.
I
Cup
like
in
I like
hand.
Brandon. He made a lot of bad decisions last year that we didn't see him make in 22 and 23.
We
And I
did
think
not.
that's what pissed a lot of
The-
people off.
The irritation with me is that he's got this good team, great team, however you want to word these guys, and you don't even get a single fucking playoff win. Not one.
Yeah.
Not one. Who's Tony V?
No, Joe. No. That guy, you want to talk about already having rumors of a frat party, and then you want to bring that guy here?
Yikes.
Ugh. This dude to be he'll be the one doing the dong bong in the dugout. That dude's wild. He's a hell of a baseball coach, but he's wild.
Francona is like, I swear to God, if the Cincinnati Reds win more games than us next year, I'm going to lose my shit.
I don't know
Even
if
more so
Francona's
than I
got
do
it anymore. I really don't know if he's got it.
But the thing is, he might not have it all, but here's the thing. He would have a bunch of good ball players
Yeah.
here.
I think David Ross is probably your better option right now.
And the more I think about it, doing what the Mariners did, where they go and they get one of their former players
The
to be
Mariners?
their coach. Yeah. I think they got what? Isn't it Dan Wilson?
I don't know.
I think he's their new manager.
Are you about to say Flaherty or something?
No.
I'd take Flaherty.
I would take Flaherty.
I'd take Flaherty. I'd take J.J. Hardy.
Yeah, that was the person that came to mind, J.J. Hardy.
And
I would take Adam Jones. Somewhere on the bench. Somewhere on the bench.
Yeah. Outfield coach. Outfield coach.
Not necessarily the league guy, but if you brought Adam Jones in here to be the hitting coach or outfield coach, I'm cool with either one of those. I'll say the most random name in the world. But if you want somebody to teach these guys how to hit and be patient at the plate, the all-time leading home run hitter should be here.
Yeah.
You should give Barry Bonds whatever he wants to come over to the East Coast and coach the Orioles on how to hit.
Didn't they say that like he had some issues or something in Miami? Or was that just with Don Mattingly?
I think it was with Don Mattingly.
Okay.
But if you told Bonds you have carte blanche over this hitting regimen, Greg Olson.
Greg Olson, dude, he's very active on Twitter, and he still knows the game. Problem is the game's changed.
The game's
changed.
It's all analytical.
Yeah.
Like I've heard people, pine for Buck Showalter to come back.
No,
like
the
that
guy
guy's
who
the most
literally
anti-analytic.
he literally ignores analytics.
So I have seen that some old school baseball guys have been getting rehired around the league this week. And a lot of people started questioning, like, are we shifting back to the baseball eye over analytics?
You need that in every organization still needs that one person that has the baseball eye.
I think you need more baseball eye than more analytics. Analytics are just numbers that just tell you what to do. They don't tell you if a guy is going to be good or not.
Yeah, I think you take the baseball eye, you see what you see and what you think, and then you say, let me look at the numbers and see if what I'm seeing is supported.
Right.
It's like a confirmation.
But the thing is, when your GM is full on analytics and your manager believes in the analytics, having a baseball eye is going to fall on deaf ears.
Yeah, well, I mean, also his right-hand man.
Baker, yes.
I wouldn't.
Why?
Because he's, 83?
I was going to say, that man's old as dirt.
Okay. I'll take anybody over Brandon Hyde. you guys are just, he's old.
Okay.
Most of the baseball managers are old.
So I'm going to ask you a little Orioles trivia question, social media trivia question. The right-hand man of Mike Elias is Sig Medow, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever noticed what Sig Medel's Twitter banner picture, his social media banner picture is?
Didn't even know he had one.
It is
social media, I mean.
it's a petri dish with a baseball ballpark in it. This front office is head over shoulders analytics.
Well,
That
Sig
is
came.
what
Where
it
did he
is.
come from? He came
Sig
from the. Was
is
it the
the-
Wizards
Um,
or was it the Capitals? He
one
came
of
from a
those.
different sport. I know that.
Yeah, he's strictly a numbers guy. That's
Yeah.
what he does.
So he's
Yep.
a dork.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
numbers guy too. I'm a dork.
He's
I
a-
mean, I'm not gonna be
But
afraid
Also
you
a dork.
you were also a professional baseball player, so being a dork is okay in your afterlife.
You know what's funny is I hate math, but I love pulling stats.
Yep.
You know what?
It's weird.
Zach and I both work on Dork Circle in Columbia.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, I work near Columbia.
You do, but not on Dork
You don't
Circle.
want to be on Dork Circle.
Hey, I'm not. Yeah, I missed that phase. You know what's crazy? While we're talking about
Oh my
numbers and
god,
all
this
that,
game's over.
I struggled with math in high school. When
Me too.
Janitis started putting letters and numbers together, I was just like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
That was me. I
And
could
then
care less what X was.
Yeah, like X comes, right before Y, but it's like I did all that math bullshit, and then in my job, I haven't had to count over 100 in 14 years. Haven't
Remember
had
when
to
they
count
always told me I would never have a calculator readily
in
available
my
and I should
pocket,
learn
yeah.
it? Yeah, yeah.
You'll
Now
have
I
to
have
learn.
like 6 calculators within like 3 feet of me.
Yep, and I literally probably use one 100 times a day.
I don't.
It's probably the one on the computer too.
I'm
That's the most annoying
state-sponsored
one.
Uber. State-sponsored Uber driver right here.
There
Yeah.
you go.
So I tell all the inmates.
All right. We're going to wrap it up here. Give me your full season Jackson Holiday stat line prediction.
Ooh, I like this question.
Oof. Damn, no warning on this one. Can't even crunch it.
Feel bad for you, Joe.
Joe, I'm in gladiator school every day.
I get to sit behind a computer all day and fix broken things.
Gladiator school for 14 years. Stealing concrete and bars.
For Holiday, I'm going to go with 262 with 21 home runs, 73 RBIs,
Are we writing this shit down?
41 stolen bases with 171 walks. So OPS is going to be
Did you
good.
say Jackson Holiday was going to have 171 walks?
Yes. 171 walks.
That's a walk a game.
I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be as strong with that as my stat line, except in one category.
Maybe I'll go down to 140. We'll do 141 walks.
It's still a lot of walks.
I was gonna I'll say
Joe posted his prediction.
254. Magic number 31 home runs. I think he
Okay.
gets a head full of steam and starts ripping it.
He buys his
90.
first beer this year too.
99 RBIs.
So you guys really think that we're going to hit with runners in scoring position this year?
I do.
With 99 RBIs.
I do. I think there's some changes that have been made to this organization that
I'm
are
not
gonna
guessing
assist with
40
this.
home runs for anybody this year.
I wouldn't do that
'Cause
again.
Gunnar
Matt.
fucking Henderson cost me a filet mignon dinner.
You could have got it if you just asked nicely.
I'm scared of her. Fuck, the fuck are we talking about here, buddy? Like I don't even live in that house, and I'm like,
She's not scary. She cooks a good steak. I don't know how
I
she
didn't
burns
say
a steak, but
well, the well done steak she sent us to the group chat tells me she cooks the kind of steak I like.
Stolen bases 40.
I'm going to tell you right now, if he doesn't have 30, I'm going to throw something through my TV.
Yeah, I can't watch this team not steal bags. I don't care who it is. I just can't watch this team not steal bags. You have 3 of the fastest players in baseball, and that being Gunnar, Colton, and Jackson. I don't care.
And Mateo.
Yeah, and I was leaving out everybody else. The speed on this team is unreal, and we just didn't run.
Yeah, we got a track team for sure.
Heston Kerstak is steal bases. I'm going to throw that out there. He should have 12 to 15 stolen bases this year. This game
Why
is
is he running?
this game's over.
Why is he
Good
running that
God.
outfield like he's a baby deer?
It was just 10 to 12. Saquon just went back-to-back touchdowns after an interception, and it's now 26-10.
All right, ready? Final line: 254 from Jackson, 33 home runs, 99 RBIs, 120 walks, and 40 bags.
That's a good season.
My
That's a
turn.
good season. Yeah.
He's going to bat 277.
Sheesh.
277. He ends the year as our leadoff hitter. He hits so well.
Mm-hmm.
277. 27 home runs. 81 RBIs. 33 stolen bases.
That's respectable. Give me your Jordan Westberg season prediction.
He hits
There's my
300
guy.
next year.
Huh?
He hits 300 next year.
I'm going to go 307.
300 with 35 home runs.
307. I'm gonna go lower. 307 with 22 home runs, 117 RBIs.
I think he eclipses 100 RBIs, but I think he hits 35 home runs.
I would love to see it, personally.
I think 300 flat. I'm not going to go 301, whatever, 300 flat. Now, I'm going to say this. Gunner regresses offensively.
You think so?
Tad
All
bit.
like power wise or
power
like,
wise, yeah, power wise.
Okay, that's fair.
I think he hits for a higher average, but he doesn't have as many home runs.
I want to see him get better when it counts, like when it really counts.
I think Jordan Westberg is going to have a year. I don't know if it's going to blow anything out of the water, but I agree with the Gunner regressing with the power. I think, as we've discussed earlier, that this runners in scoring position issue is going to be quickly addressed. We're talking 14, 15 games that would have been W's had we
crazy?
Been able to score 2 guys.
It's so crazy that they were like one of the best teams in baseball in 23 and then one of the worst in 24.
0 clutch factor.
0. But they had it in
remind
23.
you?
Isn't that crazy?
Aren't the parallels between the Orioles and the Ravens when it comes to certain shit is uncanny?
Yeah.
It's wild.
We had a historically great defense last year. It might be one of the top 5 defenses in our team's history. And now they're hot garbage juice.
My legs don't work, and I could cover better than our defense.
I don't want to laugh at that. Tim, I don't want to laugh at that.
It's a sad truth. I also could turn my head around on like Brandon Stevens.
See, now you just plucked my nerve, Tim. So this goes back to my deep hardball hate. Fuck Brandon Stevens. I would put him in a top 10 free safety in the NFL right now, and he hasn't even played it all year. And you're gonna come out and immediately say that they won't make that change. I don't give a shit about his contract. This team is trying to win a Super Bowl. John, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna start getting a little hyper.
I was pissed off that we lost the championship game last year. I just got over that, like not long ago. This 2024 Ravens offense is something
Incredible.
you see off of a video game.
Mm-hmm.
If we waste this offense on Marcus fucking Williams and Eddie Jackson,
don't get me going there. I can't do
like,
it.
I am starting to get indigestion right now because that will break my spirit.
Marcus Williams played with one arm last year and was making plays.
Yep.
And now can't even run in the right direction.
If anybody wants to screen share what the definition of Stockholm syndrome is, we got it with this fucking football team. Because It's abusive. This is
Yeah.
abusive. Like I sat through 20 years of a Patriot dynasty where we won one Super Bowl after they started winning their 6.
Fucking Lee
And
Evans and Billy Cundiff.
and
Yep.
and then immediately after that, it's Patrick fucking Mahomes. Like I need Lamar to get one. I'll be happy for the next 15 years if we get one.
Let's
Believe
get two.
that.
Let's get two. Two in
like,
a row.
Two's fine. Like
That's holding.
I need Lamar to just get these people off of his back. He's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. The dude's the best football player on the planet right now. And there's nobody close to him.
Yeah.
Not close.
He is better than Mahomes in almost everything except winning.
Yep. We should just fast forward to the AFC Championship because we already know what it's going to be.
If I see T-Pain scheduled for any postseason halftime concert, I know we're losing.
What about Taylor Swift?
No. Like my daughter pissed me off the other day. I went to Giant and I bought that Kelsey mashup cereal because it was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And I like all 3 of those cereals, so and they were all in the same box. So I wanted to try it. She's like, "Daddy, I thought you didn't like any Kansas City Chiefs." You're 6 years old. Why are you questioning me? So now I want to take I'm gonna take duct tape and X out his face.
There you go.
Oh,
Joe, I can't keep up with all your schools, man. Are you a Woo Pig or are you a Louisville?
is he from the South?
I don't know. I thought he's from here.
I don't.
He's an Arkansas guy.
Bobby Vitrino. I love that dude.
All right, fellas. I got to take Adley out to use the bathroom. She ate too much Chick-fil-A and Carl's
Tim.
Jr.
Tim, grow up, man. There's somebody else that lives in your house.
And they're sleeping because they're a teacher.
Oh, I forgot. I'm off work tomorrow. I'm balling right now. Like
that's why he had that Coke earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up in Arbutus. Arbutus. Good old Arbutus.
The Big Red.
Big Red country. Yeah. We went to school with a bunch of people from Arbutus.
I fished with a lot of guys.
A lot of them got kicked out too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys. We've been sitting around here shitting the breeze here for an hour and a half.
Shooting the breeze?
Shooting, you know.
Buddy.
All of it.
I might be shitting.
Fucking love this. I love this show.
Sounds like Adley's back there shitting.
Dude, she's trying to literally chew her collar off.
She's ready to roll.
Psycho.
All right. Well, let's pray for something to happen in baseball so we can actually get back out here and talk.
Nobody knows where Violetsville is. It's on a sign on Route 1 in southwestern Baltimore. Violetville. You're from Arbutus, buddy. You're from Arbutus. It's okay. There's a spot over in Arbutus. I keep on forgetting what the name of it was. But Vicchio volunteered me to help him move as one of my Saturday detention punishments. And he bought us food from some spot over there. And it was some of the best chicken wings I ever had in my life. And I forgot the name of it. I cannot remember the name of it to save my life.
Chicken wings from somewhere in Arbutus? Are you sure they were chicken?
Yeah, Vicchio took us
Wouldn't
there.
even mattered. They were that good.
Yeah, I could have been eating rat. Play for the Big Red.
Everybody played for the Big Red.
Not me.
Me either. I play for the Raiders.
What's that?
The Raiders?
Shuffles? No, I don't think it was that, Joe. It was some like family-owned restaurant. It looked like a.
What's the place in Baltimore Highlands that has like banging shrimp salad? Is it Johnny's?
It might be.
My buddy used to live like right there. God, it's so good.
Oh, this is gonna agitate the shit out of me. I'm Googling it. I know that you've been trying to close this show for 5 minutes, but
you want to text me when you find out?
It's gonna bother the shit out of me. Arbutus restaurants.
I tell you what, I better never hear Jaden Daniels is better or comparable to Lamar Jackson ever again.
Yeah, I think the quote was
Not this year.
actually Lamar Jackson is a poor man's
Well, I
Jaden
know that-
Daniels.
I'm not
Remember
going
he
to
was a
find it
poor
on
man's
here.
Taysom Hill one time?
Mm-hmm.
TripAdvisor said that Fish Head Cantina is the best restaurant in Arbutus. That's a lie.
Jesus.
That's egregious. I don't know why they would do that.
All right, well, let me hop on off here because I got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'm with you.
Oh, I don't. I'm going to be sleeping in. I'm going to the Pennsylvania Dutch Market tomorrow. Be a fat
Nice.
kid.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Get,
I
I
get
don't
a
even know
nice
how to turn this thing
hand-rolled
off.
pretzel
but-
for me.
Hand rolled pretzel.
All right. I'm going to hop off. I had
Thank
great
you to
time tonight.
Joe for talking to us. We gotta get Joe on the show one time.
Yeah.
Let Joe put on a headset and bullshit with us. You know, there ain't really nothing going on in O's country for a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, it's going to be a little while.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm going to hop off. I appreciate you guys hopping in tonight. Hopefully we come in. I mean, we've got what, like 4 days left for people to start accepting or denying their qualifying offers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got roughly what after that, like 20-ish days to the winter meeting. So within the next 3 weeks, we'll have
The winter meetings are what, the 11th?
I thought they were like December 15th-ish.
I
Or maybe a little
mid-December.
before that. It
And
shouldn't
that's
be
when-
that close to Christmas, I don't think.
So I can get pissed off all over again in a month from now.
Winter
Less than
meetings is
that.
where
Less
the
than
fun
that.
kicks in.
Let me Google what it is. MLB winter meetings. Date.
See, all y'all are
9th through the
dudes.
12th.
Yeah, I know it was around there. All
Yeah.
those Arbutus dudes went to Fish Head. We snuck into Cancun Cantina when we were kids.
Yeah. So we got
That-
a little bit more. We got about 1, 2, 3, roughly 3.5 weeks of still pretty much nothing getting done across the baseball world. So if we do get back on here, we're probably going to BS about football, but whatever.
Yep.
We'll figure that part out. 3.5 weeks from now, though, things will start getting spicy on here with baseball content.
We get
Sorrento's.
Sorrento-
Oh, Sorrento's is good.
Sorrento's.
Sorrento's is
Yes.
good.
Sorrento's.
Sorrento's
Yes.
is
Excuse
good.
me.
I just got it. Oh my god. I knew it was one of them places.
Vicchio would
Sorrento's.
take you there.
Yeah, Vicchio took me there.
Same guy also made me change the tire on his car at
Nice.
practice.
I don't think anybody realizes that Vicchio was like the master of Saturday detention.
Mhm.
He got pissed at me one time because we had to pick up trash. So I went to the nearest trash can and I switched the bags out. And
Brilliant.
he caught me doing it.
Nice.
And I got Saturday detention because I put my study hall at the end of the day and I would always leave and go home early. Until they started calling me to the office 2 or 3 days in a row, and I was unpacking my bag at home, and
Yeah.
one of my homeboys is like, "Hey, they're calling for you." And I'm like, "I'm home already. Fuck it." Like they kicked me off the football team. I didn't give a shit about anything at that point.
Nice.
All right, fellas.
Yep. We'll come back soon. Hopefully something will happen. Maybe
Yeah, man.
Sasaki signs somewhere. Who knows? We'll see.
We didn't even talk about that guy.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about yet.
Yeah,
Baltimore.
I don't think they do it.
Tim, I'd appreciate it if you grew a mustache and a beard at the same time.
I've been growing my beard for 33 years, Matt.
I want to see it for research purposes.
All right, fellas.
All right,
Joe,
y'all.
catch you later, brother.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, Sorrento. See, he acknowledged it.
Yep. All right. See y'all later.
Adios.
I fucking love that, bro. Oh, we're still live. What did he do?
I don't know.
What did he do? We're still live.
He's just
He
letting
didn't
it
hit
roll.
end. He did not hit end recording.
Should we text him or should we let it record through the night?
No. Well, once we leave the studio, it's over. Are you texting him and letting him know we're still live?
No, I'm about to take the dog out. I'm gonna let it roll.
I love you, even though you get bullied in your own house by animals.
I definitely do.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother man. I will talk to you tomorrow.